Well, okay. Are we live? I think we're live. Good morning, beloveds. You have a cameo from Dante. He's probably not going to look at the camera, but he was on his little red pillow in front of the window when I came in. So I wish you could hear the purr. He has. It's not a very heavy purr. It's a fairly light purr. It's a sweet purr. Unlike Sugar's, which is squeaky. So he's sitting, he's got his had. He was sitting on the couch with his great big front feet on my thigh here. So, and then you just watched him walk across me. So here we are. All right. Okay. You're doing a new design for living. Let's do the housekeeping, and all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact, email, info@creativelife.org. That way you want to email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. So, click here now means it. It is also a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. And the cat is squealing in the bathroom again. Not Dante, he's on his pillow. Giovanni, what is your malfunction? What he's in the bathroom talking about. And let's talk about the social media merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize it. Okay? We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So we ask you to like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual post by reacting to the post, commenting on the post, sharing the post. Bumps us in the algorithms, more people see our stuff. Frankly, that is the goal. Come here, Gio. That is the goal of social media. So if you, it is a free and easy way that you can support the center. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark based on which platform we are on. All right. And I'm the running Ryan across all of the social medias that I am on. Let me see if I can, I'm going to snatch Gio up here. Nope. Well, I was going to get Gio to make a cameo for you because I got him up on the couch, but no, never mind. He got down. Okay. Okay, baby. Hang on. So, we are doing a new design for living. We are getting really close to being done. So I need to start looking at my Ernest Holmes books. I might do How to Use Science of Mind next. I think that was very short, and the article should be short. So I'm thinking about that. All right. So we are in chapter 17, Health is Normal. And we have a slightly longer article today, which is why I'm glad I got started a little early today. But this is one of Ernest's last books. This is the process of science of mind. So, okay. Chapter 17, Health is Normal. Your thinking and health. To what degree are we, as thinking entities capable of creative thought, able in any way to disrupt the flow of the organizing factor in and through us? Here's a good question. The answer would appear to be much more than we realize. Different authorities vary. Some say 50% of our ailments are self-induced by the way we think. Others say 75%. Still others say 90%. Almost every type and condition of illness has been in some way or other related to our pattern of thinking. A pattern of thinking that apparently is contradictory to the spiritual pattern of a perfect and healthy body. Okay. I'm going to keep reading this, but the science behind this, what he is talking about, has everything to do with stress hormones. Okay? I have heard it said that 99.9% of our problems start with inflammation. Okay? And inflammation is definitely affected by what we eat and stress. And what we eat can stress our body. But also, there are all kinds of other stresses constantly going on in our life. I mean, just look around at what's going on right now in this, prices keep going up. our stress level goes up, our inflammation goes up. That's not good for the body. So, and when we are stressed out, we make poor eating choices or we don't eat, which then again stresses the body. So, which then creates more inflammation. So what he is talking about, it's not just what you think, which is what he's going to talk about, but he's on the right track. The more stress that you are under, the more inflammation your body is going to have. And inflammation is really, honestly, almost the start of all of our problems. A little inflammation is necessary. The amount of inflammation that we have, based on a lot of factors. Yeah. So, all right, let's get back to Ernest Holmes. This is so often evidenced by our doctors' admonishment to relax. Don't worry. Don't be fearful. What they are trying to tell us, what are they trying to tell us? They know that a disturbed mind causes havoc in the body. I'm talking about stress, okay? A havoc that they can see and measure. But there is not a larger implication in their words, one that perhaps they are not fully aware of. They know the obvious results of the disturbed mind, but what about the extent and degree of our negative thought patterns that block the expression in us of that perfect spiritual pattern which created us to begin with and which seeks to maintain and sustain us? Cancer, tuberculosis, kidney and liver diseases, arthritis, heart conditions, name it, and some medical investigator has discovered a relationship between the ailment and a pattern of thought. But what about those infectious diseases that enter the body from the outside? The answer is that there has been an overwhelming exposure, or that the body has been mentally preconditioned so that it was receptive to the infection, becoming a fertile breeding ground for it. Okay, so he is talking about the, okay, hang on. What he's talking about is medically verifiable, okay? There is an inverse relationship between the immune system and stress. When you are stressed out, you already see the difference between your immune system, but it actually does suppress the immune system. Another thing that's really interesting is sugar does the same thing. Sugar actually suppresses our immune system. And what do we tend to eat a lot of when we are stressed out? Sugar. Okay? So he's not talking about spiritual bypass here. He is not talking about spiritual bypass. He is not blaming your negative, he is not blaming your negative thought pattern. He's not blaming cancer on your negative thought patterns. He is not blaming that cold that you caught on your negative thought patterns. What he is doing is he is saying that, your negative thought patterns are contributing to, okay? And I'm going to say he's not that this is not a spiritual bypass, because this is something that we do in New Thought. It's like, oh, you have cancer. What did you do to create that? Okay, that's not a fair question. I have severe osteoarthritis. What did I do to create that? It's genetic. Okay, it is an autoimmune. It was triggered. It's an autoimmune that was triggered when I went through menopause. But I went through menopause at the beginning of COVID, okay? When my stress level skyrocketed, okay? And yeah, there's that whole change your thinking, change your thought. And it got really bad for a little while, and then it got better. Is it ever going to go back to normal? Probably not. I am most likely living in a new normal. Do I rule out spontaneous cures? No. But I do understand that my mood affects my pain level. as does my choice in eating, as does my choice not to go to bed at a reasonable time. All of that affects. All of that is part of a negative thinking pattern, okay? So there is a direct relationship between stress and the body and the immune system and inflammation, all of that. There is a direct correlation. One of the things that we can do is change our thinking. Is it going to make it all better? Maybe. I don't know. But will it make it better than it is? Absolutely. And I know that because I am that living proof of that. Yeah. I can tell based on where my pain level is, I can go back and look at where my stress is. And I can see that when my stress starts to creep up, my pain level starts to creep up. The problem is that as my stress creeps up and my pain level creeps up, then I tend to make poor food choices. Okay? So it's a vicious cycle. So that is what he is talking about. There is direct correlation, scientifically verifiable correlation between your thinking patterns and your health. So this isn't a spiritual thing. This is science. But the cool thing is there is something we can do about it. There is something we can do about it. And that is one of the things that I love the most about science of mind. Because if we are doing science of mind right, we are not making each other wrong for our thinking patterns. What we are doing is saying, you know what? We can change our thinking patterns and we can make things better. Yep. And here we are. Okay? So at no point do not ever let anybody tell you that you created your cancer based on your patterns of thinking. But do understand that your patterns of thinking can affect the way your cancer plays out. That is one of those things where, there's this thing called spontaneous remission. I think there's even a book called that, or several books at this point probably. But there is documented evidence that people held by strong emotion, when they go through cancer treatment, tend to have the best outcomes. And what I mean is those people who are surrounded by people who are happy and uplifted and joyous and, and they tend to do very well in cancer treatment. And people who are angry about it, who are pissed off and are going to fight it, tend to do very well. The people who kind of go, well, I have cancer, don't do as well. Okay? So don't let anybody tell you that anger is a bad thing. You just have to direct anger correctly. So your thinking has a direct impact on your body. Absolutely has a direct impact on your body. Ernest is right. Okay? So think about that. And we'll come back tomorrow and see what Pills and Prayers has to do with. Depending on what he says, because there are a couple of places in, like, early in the Science of Mind text, he says, take the pill and pray until you don't need the pill anymore. And then somewhere else he says, remember that everything under the sun comes from God. So if you need the prescription, take the prescription. And I say that because I take 4 prescriptions. Okay? I am never going to shame you for taking prescriptions. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. So there's that. All right. Now I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a hey, you got this day, we're going to start wrapping this week up day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a drink plenty of water day, it could be 88 degrees day, so be aware of the heat day, do what you got to do day, and make sure you make time to sit down and rest day. I kind of felt like somebody turned gravity up a little bit too much today, so I will definitely be sitting down and resting day, a you got this day, a tell somebody you love them day, a share a silly joke day, a go look in the mirror and see the divine looking back at you day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, I get it, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. My favorite part of that statement. And as Reverend Jessie likes to call us, you are a godling. Okay? So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. All the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move on to the process of my day. I'm going to remind you, Reverend David should be on sometime this afternoon. That's where we're going to leave. I'll be back with you around 9:15-ish. Take care of yourself. Know that you